you run an e-commerce brand and the last few months have felt harder, slower, more expensive, more stressful, you are not imagining it. I speak to founders and marketing team literally every single day, and there's been a massive shift in e-commerce over the past 12 to 18 months. Brands that used to grow easily are plateauing, ads feel more expensive, sales feel less predictable, and suddenly everyone is asking the same question. Why does this feel harder than it used to? And honestly, around mid-January, my calendar turns into a therapy session for founders. In this video, I want to break down exactly what's happening and give you a practical playbook for what to do next. Hi, I'm Alina, COO of a growth agency working with 7- and 8-figure e-commerce brands, and my role sits right in the middle of ads, retention, creative, and operations. So I get a front row seat to what's working and what definitely isn't working anymore. I care a lot about this topic because I hate seeing good brands think that they're failing when in reality, the game has just changed. Because here's the thing, we also have brands right now that are absolutely smashing it despite the market and the time of year. E-commerce isn't dying, it's not doomed, but it is evolving very quickly. So let's talk about exactly what's going on. Here's the first thing no one warns founders about. E-commerce has season, and the biggest season by far is Q4, unless of course you're a supplement brand. But Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, the demand is high and conversion rates are high. Everything feels so much easier. Everyone feels like a genius. Then January hits and suddenly traffic drops, conversion drops, returning customers slow down, and revenue softens. And founders panic. Every single year this happens. Every January I hear something is wrong with our ads, our product stopped working, or our brand is dying. And every year I'm like, I promise it's not that, don't panic. But what has changed is the recovery takes longer now because the cost of acquiring customers has fundamentally changed. Paid social used to feel like a cheat code. You could launch a product, run a few decent creatives, and find a winning audience and scale. Now every brand is advertising, every brand has an agency, every brand is producing content, and every brand is testing creatives. You are no longer just competing with the brands in your niche, you're competing with every brand on the internet for attention. CPMs rise, CAC rises, creatives burn out faster, and winning ads die quicker. And this is where something most brands underestimate becomes incredibly important. The brands winning attention today are the ones who show up in multiple ways, not just one. Different hooks, different emotions, different formats, and different messages. And honestly, most brands are still approaching ads like it's 2020. They find one winning ad and they try to scale it or iterate on it forever. Which brings us to the biggest mindset shift happening right now. Ads are no longer the engine. Paid ads used to be the growth engine. Now they're just the amplifier. Ads don't create demand anymore. They amplify the demand your business has already built. If your brand doesn't convert well, doesn't retain customers, doesn't have strong offers, and doesn't have strong creatives, ads will expose those problems very quickly. This is why brands hit growth plateaus. They try to scale ads, but the rest of the business hasn't evolved yet. A few years ago, retention was nice to have. Now it's survival. Acquiring customers is expensive. Keeping customers is where profit actually happens. The brands winning right now are obsessed with repeat purchase rate, AOV, life cycle marketing, and customer experience. The shift is from I need more customers to I need more value from each customer. Creative used to be a small part of ads. Now it's the main part. You can find a winning ad today and in 3 to 4 weeks it stops working. Not because your product got worse, but because people have simply seen it too many times. The brands winning right now are obsessed with creative diversity. Basically multiple ways to sell the same products, and you can do that in so many different ways. Problem/solution, lifestyle, social proof, founder story, UGC, comparison, and offer-driven creatives. Different people buy for different reasons. The brands winning in 2026 don't have one viral ad, they have creative systems. So creative is no longer just a campaign, it's a machine. If I joined your brand tomorrow and was allowed to meddle a little bit in everything, here's what I would focus on for the next 90 days. Step 1 would be fixing the foundation before scaling. So check your conversion rate, check your AOV, check your repeat purchase rate. If these are weak, ads will always feel expensive. Step 2 would be building a retention engine, making sure your core flows, which I'll put here on the screen, are all set up at the very least, and you're testing to make sure you optimize those metrics. And on top of that, making sure that your 12 to 16 campaigns are being sent out a month. A quick side note for you, if your campaigns are feeling weak and you only segment by engaged, try split that into engaged purchasers versus engaged non-purchasers. Tweak the subject line and preview text if you can, touch the copy in the email, but if not, that alone can see a boost in performance. Step 3, increase your AOV before increasing spend. So think bundles, thresholds, cross-sells, and upsells. AOV growth makes ads easier almost overnight. Step 4, build a creative testing system. Your monthly baseline should be 4 new hooks, 4 new angles, and 2 new formats. These days, the baseline for creatives has increased, especially with AI making the cost of creatives lower. So the brands that can test and make more creatives are going to find winners much easier. So you want to make sure you're testing as many formats and angles as possible. Your creative should be a pipeline and essentially not your lottery ticket. Step 5, shift the metrics you care about. Focus on MER, new customer acquisition cost, and LTV and CAC. Brands scale businesses, not ad accounts. If e-commerce feels harder right now, it's not because your brand is failing, it's because the industry is maturing. The easy growth phase is over, but the opportunity is still huge. If you're one of these brands that can relate to this video and you're feeling stuck, then our team is always available for a free chat and we can at least point you in the right direction. That's all from me. See you guys in the next one.